there was a legendary Italian guy, Briatore, that he was technically in Formula One. He was a director and a manager of a team. He was not really cheating. He would just find, I think, weak spots on the regulations. And
he's still alive.
yeah,
He was with all the hot chicks. He was with Naomi Campbell. He has a daughter from Heidi Klum, which he didn't recognize as a daughter until recently, I think.
Oh.
And I watched a podcast with him in Italian, which he explained how he got really rich in Formula One. So he's friends with Trump too. So they said when Trump was elected, in order to congratulate him, they didn't have any phone. So the Prime Minister of Italy had to call Briatore and say, like, can you give me the Trump phone so I can...
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's that powerful. And he was friends with the Benetton family, you know, the one that do clothes.
Yeah.
And they happened to have the Formula One team. So they told him, you're a good manager. Can you manage our Formula One team? He was like, I don't know anything about Formula One. Say, you're going to figure it out. And they made him manager. And he discovered Schumacher, the pilot.
Oh, damn.
And so when they were bidding, because he said we couldn't pay the big pilots, so we had to work on the young assets. So he found also Fernando Alonso.
To work up after.
And it happened is that they set him as a manager to this team Benetton. He was successful. Because Formula One is a franchise, you cannot make a new team. You have to buy the license from some team. Mm-hmm. Renault bought the team Benetton, and they kept Briatore as a manager. And at one point, because in Formula One you make the car, but you can buy the engine, you can buy certain parts from other cars. They said it's too expensive to develop our own engine. We're gonna buy an engine from someone, and they dismantled the Renault engines. But what Briatore did is said, okay, you have this factory, you have these people, don't fire them. I'm going to buy just the engine divisions from you, and I'm going to keep it up. And he kept up the engine production for Formula One for a few years, because he said once you stop producing engines, you lose the know-how. If you want to go back on track, you have to redevelop, because after a few years, everything has
Technology
changed.
moves. Yeah.
So he bought it. He kept producing engines. He sold the engines to Renault because Renault didn't want to produce them. And a few years later, when Renault wanted to fully come back, they bought back
Briatore's stuff.
Briatore's, and he made a bunch of money.
A bunch. Yeah. It's he's one of the most successful Italians, I would say, and he's very Italian. And by very Italian, I don't mean it as an insult. It's really, there's a style.
Yeah.
You know, kind of womanizer, but a bit outspoken and a little fun.
Now he's
fun,
old.
I would say. Yeah.
Now he's a little bit creepy, I think.
Probably.
He looks a little creepy.